I like to take credit for that name. We got Matt Staples, podcast number 134, second time on. Matt, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. And yeah, I think Matty Ice has to be the name because that was all you. And that stuck deep. Like, I've been called that by everyone on Twitch since that day. Matty Ice stuck. And it's a good one, too. I want to thank you for that because,
I love it. I love it. It's powerful. It's good. It is good. It's nice, and it's just good. It's just a good thing. I'm happy to have you here, man. We have to catch up properly. It's been a while. We've covered stuff on the last podcast, and we've done Streamboat, done Streamhouse. We've been through a lot. We've been through a lot of I would say our Twitch careers, similar timeline, right? In terms of when get going, and you really put your head down and just gone for it. So, congrats on all your success. Great that we're on the same team representing Party Poker. And yeah, man, we got a lot to cover. So let's dive right in. Why don't you just tell us a little bit, what have you been up to during the pandemic? How has it changed over the last 12, 14 months of what has been different than what you were planning on doing, and what is going on? That's kind of, give me the good and bad of what's happened for you over the last year.
Well, because you said I've been grinding like the last few years. I have just done nothing but stream, and I was thinking this year that maybe I would, maybe it's time to get a little live poker under my belt. Let's hit up a series. Let's do this. Let's do a little travel. Maybe meet up with some people, branch out a bit from my normal day to day that I've been up to. But then COVID happened. This was going to be the year, and I was just like, okay, well, I guess status quo. But what actually ended up happening is my stream actually blew up, the biggest it's ever been early pandemic, which was nice. My stream had kind of plateaued for a while, and then yeah, the early COVID hit, and unfortunate circumstances for why online poker was blowing up and Twitch was blowing up. But it was, there was just so many people online, and the tournaments were popping off, and I was having some deep runs, and my subscribers were popping off, viewers and everything. So yeah, I kind of just rode that wave and been streaming, just streaming full time basically since. So yeah, it ended up being pretty nice actually for me. But
and when so I guess that would be sort of under the box of positives that came out of the pandemic and lockdown for your personal life, and also maybe your poker game. Did you find that, just in general, right, it's you're kind of boxed into being in your house? I think for a lot of people, it is really unfortunate and changes. But I think, for someone like you, me, someone that streams, that plays online poker a lot, that is kind of a, gamer type, in a way, it's sort of you don't have to worry about so much the distractions. Like you were saying, oh, I might go to this live event, or this thing's going on. I got birthday parties, bachelor parties, people getting married, all these different type of events and things that may kind of, block your consistent growth. But, would you say that that's fair, that it literally just kind of puts you in your head down and just sort of right place, right time? And looking back on it, how would you say that was that just sort of because it's a bizarre event in history, right? We've never seen anything like it. I mean, I've never, hopefully never again. But what would you, would you say, would that have happening though? Are you more inclined to wow, this was really good, let me do this more often, and just stay focused? Or are you really itchy now to go once you can go play live, go play the World Series live this year, go to some Party Poker live stops? What is your mentality in the moment once things do open up?
Yeah, I'm kind of itching for a difference, it was good for sure, but I had been doing that kind of lifestyle. My lifestyle didn't change very much, pandemic wise, maybe a little bit in my personal life, with my girlfriend and stuff, not being able to go out and, do activities or go to the bar or whatever, that changed, but work wise, it was very similar. So yeah, I'm kind of looking for a mix up a little bit going forward, I feel like I've reached a point where I just want to explore some different parts of, being a team pro, and vlogs, maybe YouTube, a little bit more YouTube, a bit more live poker. And that's more what I'm excited for at this point. Twitch will always be my thing, but yeah, I think I just have a lot of avenues to explore outside of it. So.
And what would you say, what's been the most difficult for you though over the last 12 to 15 months? Do you feel like you've had a real struggle or a real actual sort of situation that you're man, this was this was crazy and like, wow, this is really hard, or was it not really anything like super challenging for you during this time?
No, it's been okay. I think around now, when the weather is nice and like it's honestly the one part of it has been my relationship a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you're with somebody and you're looking to hang out a bunch, and your options are, stay inside, stay inside, stay inside, stay inside, like lockdown, lockdown, lockdown. And it's fine. But like, you want to do some activities, you want to go out, you want to go to dinner. And I mean, I look forward, like, you want to go on trips, right? Once every few months, maybe go on a little trip, go to Vegas, whatever. I know people are doing that kind of stuff, but um, we've been pretty locked down and disciplined about it. So
For
yeah,
sure.
I'm looking forward to that. That's kind of been the only thing that's been a hindrance. But yeah, work wise, I was already kind of on lockdown mode for a few years. So yeah.
And tell me in terms of like studying and where your games evolved, because I remember when we did spend a lot of time together. We were at Streamhouse. We were in Montreal. We were in Canada. I mean, what was this? 2016 maybe? Was it
Yeah,
16, 17? I mean, this is a
2016.
2016. We're talking about 5 years
That
ago.
was Montreal, I think.
Yeah, Streamhouse in Montreal. That was crazy. Great memory. We had Kmart, Jamie there. We were just kind of experimenting, doing different stuff, and had a lot of fun. Where has your game evolved from then to now? Because like I keep an eye on you. I see what's going on. Even though I got a son. I'm not
Yeah.
quite around as much as I want. Not streaming quite as much as I would like, but I still see what's happening. I see you getting big scores. I see you going deep. How has your game evolved, and what has been been able for you to transform, and where are you from then and now, and what are you doing in terms of studying and progressing?
Yeah, I think the last year I've managed to improve quite a bit this last year. I've done some higher level study, and I just think my overall understanding of like my understanding of higher level intricate spots, I think, has gone up quite a bit this year, and how to maneuver those spots. I think like back in 2016, I was still learning basic stuff, like just figuring out how to even get around like a poker hand, and now it's a lot more intricate and a lot more advanced. And I'm studying more now than ever, so it's not something that I've kind of took my foot off the gas with that, because I'm playing high stakes now. Like you hop into a 1K, a 3K, a 2K every weekend, or a few of those, and it's like you better be prepared, because those games are tough. They're really, really tough. And like I wanna put up those scores in those games for my stream, because that's what's popping off on Twitch now. Like, I don't know if you've kept your eye on the Twitch listing over the last year, but it's like there's a bunch of more big names that are playing 5Ks and 10Ks like every single day. So, the 55s and the 109s, they're just not hitting quite the same on Twitch. So yeah,
Right.
it's like you just gotta be good. You gotta be good. It's more important now than ever to be good, even
Right.
after playing for so long.
Yeah, it's ultimately for sure it's a unique thing. The poker and Twitch, the listing, there are some big names and bigger guys that are coming in and starting to spread those, as you said. So the 22s and 55s and 109s. Listen, there's some great streamers and entertaining people and stuff, but yeah, it's tough if guys playing a 5K or 10K versus like playing 100. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna really have to do a lot right to overcome that challenge of overtaking the viewership. What about the WPT coming up? You got the 3200. I think you cashed for 44th, and the 6 max one, or you had a really deep run not too long ago. And what was that like? Was that your biggest online score in a major? Because you have had some large scores now. What's your actual largest Twitch streaming online score? I've seen some nice ones from you in this
Largest
last year.
score was 93,000 in the Party Poker Million. It was about May last year, so about a year ago. That was my largest score. I did have a 25K score in the WPT actually. Last time it came around, it was a 1K event, I think. Had like fourth place or something like that. So yeah, I had a couple of nice 20K scores this year. But yeah, 93 was the biggest one. And yeah, I'm gonna be in the WPT big time coming up too. Just every time one of these series come around, it's like, okay, here's my chance. Another big score's coming up. Like, make those, make the dent in the Twitch listing. Like, get people excited, get people hyped. So
Yeah, we are live. We've moved the podcast over to put the live version on Twitch. So I see a lot of familiar faces here, guys. Not going to be shouting out and taking questions. If you want questions, we do have a way you can win actually a ticket, $111 given away today on Twitter. If you go over there, a one-shot ticket, which is a nice tournament. Someone actually won the one-shot ticket, took first for like 19 grand in one of the events. So listen, dreams happen. Good luck. We'll put that there. If you guys want to ask a question for Matt, we'll try to get to as many of these as we can. I see already.
I need to get a new poker picture, man. You know, that was taken 2018. That was like my most recent poker picture, 2018, 3 years ago. People are just shilling that out still. Granted, I sent that to you, but
we're gonna have to get. Yeah, I agree. But that's all the more reason we need to get you at a live stop. We need to get you at the World Series. You know, Matt. I think it's your year. It's a year of Matty Ice. We're gonna have him out in the live tweets, running around and take him away from Twitch for a little. But I gotta say, we had that talk at Run It Up Reno. I'll never forget. It was before you signed with Party. I think you were definitely a household name in poker and Twitch, but because Jamie and you kind of have an interesting situation, right? Jamie and I, one of my closest friends in poker, we talk a lot, collaborate. I love Jamie's passion, his excitement. He's a content creator, right? Like he's flying around Costa Rica. It gives me so much anxiety. Like the thing that I like the least is about traveling is like the laptop, the monitor, setting up the internet. Like it's honestly the worst. Like that whole process to not even know if you're going to get to go live. Like the heartbreak Jamie's had too, like Coaster. I mean, he's carrying like 4 monitors and massive like actual computers, like the setup time. You're talking about like a full day of setup, right? And I don't think that was, he kind of enrolled you in that vision and you were rolling around and doing that. It's all great, but there's a lot of downtime. There's a lot of moving. So, I think you really just wanted to get in there, put your head down, get your setup and go. And that's what you said you were going to do. And I remember you told me, you said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to just knock this out. And you delivered. A lot of people talk, don't deliver. You talk, delivered. And you told me, you probably, I know you told Jamie, a few others, and you kind of had a plan. How did you come up with this formula, this vision? And what was the point when you basically said, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to attack. You're almost at 100,000 on Twitch. Big milestone, 98K almost. So any day, right? Could be another week, couple days, who knows?
I've been pushing for it. I've been trying to get the 100K. I'm like, man, we're so close. Like I gotta be able to tweet that out.
But when was it? What clicked for you? When did you say I want this? Because streaming is very interesting. It's a difficult beast. Like it's so hard to break through, to be consistent, to do the things. Like when was it for you that you knew you wanted this and that this was something you were going to attack full time?
Well, I mean, the whole Jamie saga when he was traveling around, like I was just following him around kind of like a little puppy dog, it's like it's not really what I wanted to do, although I did enjoy those experiences. Like I was just like, okay, like I haven't launched my Twitch career yet. Like I haven't done it yet. Like I'm on the up, people watch me, I get a few hundred viewers, maybe 150 viewers, whatever. But I was like, I haven't done this yet. Like I would like to get to I want to be a streamer, like on the same level. And I was like, there's only one way for me to do that. Like I can't just be traveling around the world in all these different countries, like streaming twice a week, but also putting on 50 pounds for this prop bet that's going on. It's like, I can't be doing that and also get to be a big streamer. I got to just lay low, grind every day until I'm there. And I don't know. I just ended up, being good at that part of it, just like settling down and streaming every day. That was just comfortable for me. I like doing that. Because
it's a little tricky, right? Like to your point, Jamie at that, he's a very established streamer at this point. He's older. He's been doing it. Like you said, he's sort of done his grinding and he put his footprint in. So for you to kind of like, you're sort of in the middle, right? You're kind of like, all right, I want to do this. I want to experience. I want to whatever, but I need to build mine. So I think that's probably, it was a difficult to sort of assert yourself and find that time. Tell me about the weight loss bet, because I think we had the conversation right after the weight loss bet. This is a pretty big deal, but you actually, in winning this bet, I had a large wager on it. I was very enrolled, engaged. You obviously guys had a big number on it, big at stake, but like you really did give up a lot on that, right? I mean, it's almost like how much percent, like what percent capacity were you actually streaming during this time of weight loss bet? Because I mean, man, like you got to travel, you're eating daily. You can't really even stream those a lot of the days, right? You're doing weight, eating, like it's not even like what was going on? Tell me that process. And was it frustrating or was it exciting? What was your head on that?
I think it's just I was just tired. Like I was just tired all the time. You know, if you wake up, like food is actually exhausting. It really is. Like sometimes if you wake up and you skip breakfast, sometimes you feel like a little bit more like alert, like you're not weighed down. And when you're bulking for a year and like your sole goal is to put on as much weight as possible, you're just always tired and full. So like to get the energy to, I don't know, to stream, to broadcast when you're basically in a turkey coma 3 times a day for a full year, like you don't want to stream as much. And
look at Jamie there. What
I
is he,
know.
a $40 soaking wet? I mean, who is that guy? I don't even recognize that guy. That's Spraggy behind. Who is that? That's what is it? What is going on? I mean,
it's like not Spraggy, but close.
No, it's not. But look at this guy. I mean, look at you, man. You were. I mean, do you recognize that guy? Does this bring back good memories, bad memories? Like, dude, you're huge.
Look at my arms. It's insane.
Wow. What were you thinking right here when you knew, like, the bet was won? How nervous were you though that the scale could mess up? Can you imagine? And like Bill's a very generous guy, but like imagine the scale just really was messed up. Like that was the biggest sweat after all that work. I think you had got sick. Didn't you have a huge scare like a week before too or something? You were traveling and got really sick?
Well, a month before, like let's say, yeah, about 3 weeks before, we were still in Malta, and I had a serious reaction to peanuts. Like I'm deathly allergic to peanuts and nuts, and I had like a reaction where I had to go to the hospital, and like they had to hook me up to IVs, and I was like there for 12 hours or whatever. And like I came home and I was basically scared to eat at that point because I had never had a serious reaction to like my allergy. So I was like I gotta shove my face with food, but I'm scared that I'm gonna have a reaction and die. So I had to go through that problem, like that anxiety. But then on top of that, I was, I just felt like sick. Like I couldn't really stuff me. So I don't know. I guess there was a little bit in there where that was a bit of a scare.
And on the way in here, I mean, this was, I think must have been pre-weigh-in or what? I mean, this was when it actually was going down. But I mean, dude, dude, you are huge. I mean, you are absolutely mammoth, dude.
This
is wild.
Honestly, I would be more shocked, but I look at these photos all the time. I always go back and I'll send pictures to Chris, my other brother Chris. I'll send him pictures and I'll just, no caption. I'll just send him a big, and he'll make fun of me. But
I mean, Mike is just shredded too. This is actually an embarrassing shot for me to be there.
You and Vacanti look like Whole Foods and Walmart there, like very close, like the same kind of store, but
no, I need this. Honestly, this is not staged or planned. That is a tough shot. I never even looked at that before, but I'm gonna get back in the 5 weeks of fitness. And there's the moment. This is where it gets done. The money is shipped. It's an absolute win. The brothers hug it out. I mean, man, what if, dude? Honestly, I don't even recognize either of you, but that was crazy. What was that feeling? I mean, that was a monumental score, right? What did you get? 75 G's. In there, like, what did that do for you in your bankroll and life at the moment?
It was huge for my life. It didn't change anything poker wise, but to actually have a chunk of money, because I didn't really I had some money before that, but like it was like, wow, I have 75,000 US to just sit there and like do whatever I want with. Like I'm not like I have money. I see, the thing is I never worked actually growing up. I never worked. I didn't have like standard jobs. I didn't work at a restaurant. So I kind of had no money growing up through high school. And then I went to university for a year, but then like I still wasn't working. And then I did this thing with Jamie, and I made enough. I made enough to like, save some up or whatever, but like rent was expensive. And then we went traveling, and like rent basically ate up all my money. And I wasn't making money from poker yet because I was in the micro stakes. So like I never had a lot of money until right now. Like right this moment was the first time I actually had money. So it was actually pretty big for my lifestyle, for sure. It was pretty big. Yeah.
This is Bill on the phone. This is that's also, listen, I tell people all the time in poker, it's a tricky game. You got or wagering, you got to win and then you got to get paid. Luckily, we know Bill is Fort Knox in terms of he's not going to stiff anyone, whatever. But what was that like seeing the wire, the money get plopped in there? Because like you said, you don't have a job, you hadn't had a big poker score like a major one, right? And like to see that hit, and you're like, boom, 75 pack in the bank coming in. What did that look like? Was it tears? What did your parents think?
It wasn't tears. I don't know. I couldn't even imagine what my parents think. I still can't believe it happened. It's like such a lifetime story that almost seems irrelevant now, which is the weird part. It's like that is a story that you would tell for life to everyone you ever meet, and it's supposed to be like the craziest thing that will ever happen to you, But like now it seems to have just faded in like this poker betting gambling world. Like it just seems to keep going on.
Like a Thursday. It's like a Thursday afternoon. And it's just like, there's bets, there's wagers,
it shouldn't feel like that. It shouldn't feel like that, but it kind of does. It's like, oh yeah, like a few years ago we did this 150K bet, and I don't know. It's crazy, but
and I don't want to. I'm a hype guy, and I like to be on the positive side and feel all good. Let's just touch quickly on the follow up though, because there was a run it back. You did, and there was a run it back. This was run it up. You guys did have another wager, which I don't even know if everyone would know or think about, because it kind of got lost in the shuffle and the hype. It just kind of like got brushed under. I don't even think there was much of a whatever. But so tell me about what was the actual? Remind me on the terms of the second edition of this that you guys decided to do, and what was the offer and the bet and what happened?
Can we edit this in post production? Like, how burnt did I get today, man? This is crazy.
You got a little red. I got this fair skin too. It happens. It's good to get outside, man. No one's gonna call you a Dungeon and Dragon guy. You're in there mixing up in the real world. So
okay. So the second bet. I mean, we were just riding off hype. That's what happened. Like we had conquered this bet, and Jamie was kind of thinking like, hey, let's like maybe we can compound this into something like crazy, like we can compound this into a double bet where we both get shredded. And like his argument was that the risk reward of it is actually like really solid in terms of if we complete it, it's like book deals and this and that, and like we're going to be on the cover of this magazine and this magazine, essentially to go from where he was weight-wise to 10% body fat. And the story behind it, like his argument was that like it will be a game changer for us forever if we win. And I was like, okay, that makes sense to me. I know I can get there to 10%. And so I was like, okay, like let's risk. So what we did is we risked a third, 25K, I believe it was. I think it was 3-1 to get to 10% body fat. So yeah, we kind of went on the track, and I got down to 12%. I was on track to get there, and Jamie just ran into his own struggles along the way and just realized that we weren't going to get there. And yeah, it was an L. But you're right, it wasn't a story. People weren't following along. And I think that's also part of it, is that like Jamie and I weren't together. We weren't producing vlogs about it. There was no hype. There was no like community behind us to like kind of egg us on to win. It was just like a little short-sighted, I think. But
we all have our daily kind of lives and situations. And was it looking back at that though, was that should it have been maybe that you guys did come together? I don't know if Mike was involved or not, heavily or fully, or because he couldn't really, right? Because you guys weren't even together. Maybe he was with you some of the times or not. But looking back on it, do you think it would have been worth it, or could you have done it differently, where you guys did live in Montreal or did live together, did get like a sick place, have a full-time trainer, and like just make it like because these type of opportunities are just so rare, right? Like even like Stream House, Stream Boat. Like I now have a family. It's just like harder. Things get harder. Girlfriends, you got a girlfriend. Jamie's got engaged. Like, things become more, not just like hopping on a plane and doing whatever, whenever, all the time. There's more responsibility. So, looking back on it, is there anything you would have done differently, or do you think you could have done? What do you think the odds were really? If you guys made it your life mission, what were the true odds of you winning that second bet instead of 3-1? If you made it your mission, like put streaming to second, you guys got together and just said, guys, this is life or death. What do you think you
I
could
mean,
do?
probably like worse than 3-1. But
Right.
it's tough for me to say because I kind of just trusted Mike Viconti's word on that Jamie could physically possibly get to 10%. And like whether that's true or not, I'm not like I don't actually know because like other people disagree. Like they think like the certain way somebody's body's built up and whatever, like what you actually need to like get that few extra percent, like coming from being a big man. Yeah, I don't know. It's I guess it probably would have been smarter to like talk to a somebody that is a specialist in this to be like, hey, is it possible for Jamie with his body type to actually hit 10? Because I could hit 10. So I knew that. But like I guess like on Jamie's side, I don't know. The problem with the whole like idea of like coming together that year was that was the year that I went hard on Twitch. That was the year that I went home and I just grinded my ass off for 3 years in a row. And like that's where my Twitch career came from. So if it was going to be another year of the bet, I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough equation to answer.
Right. And what's your take on this type of stuff though? Like, do you believe in the stream house, streamboat like stuff? Like, is that stuff, do you think that's good to do once in a while? Does it keep you kind of interested and excited, or is it too much kind of juice for the squeeze? Like whatever the expression is. Is it too much kind of distraction, take away from the core? Or do you think like with good planning, a good venue, you'd be up for doing something kind of like a big series, or go get together with the 3 or 4 guys again and do some kind of cool house and thing? Would you like to do that again?
I would snap do it right now. I would snap do it. I would do stream boats, stream islands, stream cabana. I would do any kind of stream house or anything. I'm in there. I would love it.
Cabana. That's
Stream
got
cabana.
a
Like we could do Survivor. We could do Survivor.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's I think it's just about the right time, right place, right time.
Nice. I don't want to give a lot of shout outs because it is live on Twitch, but we got Thomas Screech saying what's up. Tell him the squad loves him. Green Eyed Asian, the legends in the chat. We got some people tuning in live. I appreciate that, guys. Again, let's go out on all the audio outlets. We do have a $111 ticket courtesy of Party Poker. Matt and I are going to be giving that away. We'll be clicking it at the end. And look at all the questions, Matt. I mean, we got to save time. Let's allocate enough time. Look at this. The people want to know. These guys they're in your. This is real stuff, man. This is like, how does that feel? Does it feel good to be loved like this? Like, look at all the engagement here, Matt. Did you ever believe you would be a Twitch poker superstar? Did you know that would happen or not? Look at this. I can't. I
don't feel like tired. A Twitch. I don't feel like a superstar. I wouldn't use the word superstar.
I'm asking, is it? Because look at this. My finger. I gotta stop. I'm getting tired. I'm scrolling, and it's. I mean. So yeah. What like? How does it feel though? Do you get noticed outside in your community? Like, is your girlfriend like? Do people like? What is it like being? How old are you again? 25.
24.
24. Wow. Decade. 24. You're like. I gotta say, this is another thing that I always give you credit to, because like I'm 34. How Jamie's what? 29 or no 30?
29.
So like you're young, man. You've built quite a what's the word? You've built a really nice portfolio. You got a nice foundation. Like, do you ever find yourself sometimes just sort of stepping back and looking like, wow, this is pretty cool, or you just kind of immersed in it and don't really notice? Because I mean, it's pretty cool to have 100,000 following on Twitch. You've done a lot at a very young age, man. And 24 really is young for Twitch. I don't know many. I think maybe you and Pav. I don't know many other Twitch guys that are. How old is Pav? He's in that
wheelhouse. 26 or 27, I think. Yeah.
Kevin, he's a little older.
I think Kevin is 27. Like Kevin's pretty young, right? 26.
Yeah.
27.
Yeah. So what is it like? Do you feel like, do you have a plan? Do you think? Because I mean, I'm 34. I feel like I could stream or do content for another 2 decades. So what do you feel like? Do you feel young? Are you feeling old? Has it worn on you? People get burnt out on Twitch. We've seen it with some of the greats at different times, either fully going away, taking a step back. Do you feel burnt out? What do you do when you do get burnt out? I'm gonna ask you 12 questions at once, and then you just pick whatever you like. That's how I like to so pick one.
Well, I'm not burnt out. No, I don't have a plan for. I don't have like a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan. Right now, it's still Twitch. It's just still Twitch and growing my audience. Like I was talking about earlier, like I do feel like I'm starting to want to, branch outward when it comes to what I can do in poker. Like I noticed that other people take more time off than I do to do things that are in, like, go to a live event or go to this, and they don't seem to get punished for it once they've hit a certain stream size. So like I feel like I'm at a point now where like going to some events, I'm like going on a trip here, trip there, maybe doing a vlog with, I don't know, maybe visiting you in Miami and like doing a vlog, like that kind of stuff. I don't think I would be punished as much these days, and like that's stuff that I really want to do. So
Right. Yeah, I think that's an important mentality because I've luckily never felt that way, and maybe I should have or whatever. But like also part of it was just due to my what's the word, surroundings, my environment, right? Like I live in a place where I can't by default wake up and stream, which is sort of annoying, of course. But with that being said, like I think that's one of the reasons why I love Twitch and it's been so enjoyable though, is because like I do pockets, like I stream for a month or a couple weeks and like take time off or take some time off and come back. And to me, it's refreshing and relaxed. I never feel that pressure because a lot of the guests I've had on here that have really sizable Twitch channels, even like Ludwig or guys that aren't in poker, Frosty, these other guys, like I feel that kind of energy that like when you hit a certain stream size, it is kind of hard to walk away at all, right? Because you realize it's so competitive. There's other great options. And like if you go away for a month or two, if something's working, why mess with it, right? It's like even guys like Summit, like these guys have like insane shows, like doing 30, 40, 50, literally 100,000 viewers. Like it's like a drug. Like how do you like go,
well, on that level, I don't know, man. I don't know how you could, how do you relax?
How do you relax? Like the opportunities,
I don't know.
You have to have a really good team and you have to have a good plan because it's like, it's hard to justify. How do you go to the, Tulum for the weekend when you're going to be, you could have dude, and those numbers are so crazy, right? Like they're filling out like Michigan football stadium's the largest in the country, like 113,000. They have that at a computer watching them with no overhead. You know what goes on to put on a sporting event? Like the staff, the security, the logistics, the lighting, the overhead. You guys are just turning on a computer, hitting stream and just ripping it. Like, I mean, it's crazy business. So I don't know. But so to that degree though, what has been your sort of trick or how do you map out, plan ahead when you have taken breaks in the past? Let's call Matty Ice 2.0. After you made the decision to put your head down, go crazy. Because before the pandemic, say there's a year or two period, right, of like where you're really in the zone. What were you doing and how long were the breaks you were taking during this time? Like if you were taking breaks.
I honestly, like, I would take breaks for like Christmas, take break for Christmas to see my family. I would take a break for maybe a week in the summer, like a full week off. But that's really the extent of it. I didn't take really any breaks. Like those few years, I just didn't take time off. It's usually family oriented. Like last year, I went to Scotland to visit Jamie for a week with my family. That was like truly the only week off I took in 2020. Maybe a week in the summer, like I said, Christmas. But yeah, I don't know. I just I don't allocate a lot of time off because I like to grow on Twitch. So like talking about like how those big streamers get away from their community, like after having 100,000 viewers, it's actually something I'm pretty good at, but like I would almost like to be worse at it. Like I'm very good at ending my stream and like just disconnecting from my community. I'm not checking Discord every 10 minutes. I'm not checking Instagram every 10 minutes, seeing what people are up to. I'm not posting stories all the time. Like when I'm on Twitch, I'm on there, I'm doing my thing. Like I like to talk to everyone, but when I'm off, I'm very off. Like I'm not really talking to many people until I'm back online.
I noticed that. I would say that like that's so interesting because I think there's a big market for this, and this is something I constantly work at because I think ultimately the goal of working or doing things is to do what you love, right? Like for me, I love poker, I love people, I love content. This is fun to me to do this stuff. But with that being said, I'm at a point, and so are you, or anyone who streams, I think, at any kind of with success, like you always have something going on. You open your Discord right now, there's stuff going on. Someone wants to do this, someone wants to, you get an email, this, that. Like you need to have a good team to sort of like make things go. And like guys like Gary V, let's just take the extreme. That guy, like, can you imagine? Can you imagine going to sleep? Like he can't even. I know him via auxiliary, like a couple of my very good friends are close with him. and even like Mike Vacanti, right? Like it's his trainer or has been on and off, but like a guy, like it's hard at some point to shut off because when you have so much opportunity and access, like it just becomes a little bit difficult, I think, to block out and separate that because it is tricky. So I don't know. Like you're saying, you wish you're worse at it, but I think a lot of people would do the opposite of what you're saying too. It's always kind of like you want what you don't have, or a little different
100%.
view.
Well,
but a team, like having a team, B-Car with Jamie or with, Party, Ghost of M, Vadron, like if you have people and you motivate them, you have them set up for success and you get a good core foundation, I think you can really do a lot. But the problem is like you want to be hands-on too. Like you don't want to have people like generically answering your messages.
See, that's my thing. Yeah. I hate the generic stuff. And so many people do it. And at the end of the day, they put out more content than me. They're in there, they're responding. They put out tweets, they put it on Instagram. Like they actually get stuff out there for your community to answer. But like I would rather
got this out there, Matt. I'm gonna heat check you right now. Are you out there? Are you blasting us? Are we getting?
I got you on Instagram. I got you on Instagram.
Twitter. Did we get Twitter, Matt?
Let me go to Twitter.
I'm gonna cut the podcast maybe or short today. Let's see. This is tough. I got Phil Hellmuth and Drake are getting fucking love. Phil Hellmuth on the podcast tomorw. Shout out to Philly.
I'm privileged to be on this podcast.
This
it goes me, then Phil Hellmuth, which is insane.
I did give you the nod on terms of choice. I said, Phil, I'm going to see what Matt wants schedule wise, and then I'll try.
Phil Hellmuth, he's such a character. I'm sure you know him well. I've never met him. I've never talked to him, but like he's hanging out with the Kardashians a month ago. He's hanging out with Drake yesterday.
Phil
is beating Daniel Negreanu back to back.
He's beaten Polk. He might be the greatest heads-up player of our whole entire generation. Like, he's just white magicking left and right. This is third time on his podcast now. Phil and I are in 13 different investments together. I know Phil very well. I talk to him a lot. The guy is one of a kind. He's just like the most special person. Like he's in his own world. He's very generous, but also, he's just different. He's different. He's a different guy. I don't know what you can say. It's hard to knock him, but yeah.
I can't say anything.
You have a question for Phil? Let's cut this and I'll play it for him. Do you have anything? Would you like to know personally about like Phil or what his you're kind of a younger version of Hellmuth. You're like the great young guy, the early Twitch guy. He's older. He's double your age. Imagine Matty Ice in 30 years. Where could Matty? How many Twitch titles? How many this and that? Like I want to make the comparison now and give me a question for Phil.
All right, my question is for Phil and you. Because I put you guys both in the same process. Once you get so far into poker that you're not a poker player anymore, how do you keep playing? Because like once you're invested in the 15 companies and you're in NFT cabanas, you're owning NFT cabanas, you got stakes in every single company, you're making money from 20 places. How do you just sit down at the poker table and grind it out? Like I guess it's just for the love of the game, but it just seems kind of crazy to me that you can be involved in 30 projects and still want to sit down and play cards and like kind of pass it off as like, hey, I'm a poker player. It's like, well, yeah, like kind of, but like.
So let me Phil's a great question. Phil's going to be the one to, he's been doing it forever and more so in different level of, he's just been around. He's in there. Phil, I think is 50. I don't even know how old he is. He's 50. Early 50s maybe, but what I would say that I struggle with, and I talked to Ben CB, who I know you're a raise your edge proponent, me as well. Ben CB is like the epitome of a grinder of just an absolute, he's a horse, he's a workhorse, he's a great player, he puts out great content. So I talked to Ben about this specifically because there are times where I'll be streaming or playing, and I feel like I'm like in the middle, right? Like I'm kind of a content creator, I'm kind of a poker player, but like it's weird because like I don't have all the time to study as much as I'd like. So like you want to be confident and you want to be in tune and you want to feel like you can win at any point. But listen, I know that I'm not Ben CB or pads or I'm not putting hours a day into solver work. It's just not happening. Like I just you can only pick and choose so much. So I Phil Hellmuth's like an anomaly too, because he's literally not doing that work. I promise you, he's not doing solver work and stuff. But the guy has his own style. He knows how to play live. He's a smart guy, great poker player. Negreanu as well. Negreanu has sort of shown us he's dove into that sort of world of solvers and trying to get there and stay in tune. But I'm on a long-winded answer question is like, I don't know, because it's like different at some point, right? You do kind of break into like the content side versus the poker side, and you get kind of in the middle, and you can kind of be, your identity is almost lost. Like Jamie as well. Jamie's a big content guy. He works hard on his game. Jamie's gotten much better at poker in the last few years, from my understanding, just what I see and feel, and just basically talking with him. But still, like, you can't do it all. Like, and that's why guys on Twitch.
You're proof that you can do it all, Jeff. You are proof that you can do it all. Actually,
I promise you, my poker game, I'm confident, but I'm telling you, like, it's not. I'm not an absolute,
man,
wizard guy.
So. I feel dumb sometimes. Like, I feel dumb sometimes when I'm sitting there playing poker, and I'm like, I'll just open up my Twitter feed and I'll see like 16 different coins that these guys are making millions off, and I'm like, man, I'm playing like the 55. Like, this is my talent. Like, this is where I came from. This is why anyone watches me. But at the same time, I'm just like, look at all these opportunities everywhere that are going on around me, and all these people are jumping on them, and I'm just zoned into this poker world. And I'm not saying everyone's getting rich off this stuff, but like, there's so much going on these days. And you're the prime example, because I see what you talk about, and you're in all these different projects. And I'm like, look at all these opportunities. Look at all these people, just these crypto lords. And I don't know, sometimes I'm just like, man, like, poker is so one-dimensional. Now, somebody in the chat said most people lose money. I understand that. I understand that. Not everyone's getting rich, but it's I don't know.
I'm not going to listen. We can't edit this podcast. This is some of the stuff I'm involved in. Matt, I'm not going to blow up your spot, but don't act like you're, like I said, Dungeons and Dragons. You're out there mixing up. Maddie's making some good plays here and there. Not saying crypto, not saying business, whatever, but I'm saying you're also 24. Let me tell you what I was doing when I was 24 years old. I was living with my best friends. I was in a place where I was playing online poker, not with Twitch. I was just hanging out. I was ordering Ding Hao, playing beer pong every day, and breaking, slightly winning in online poker at the time, maybe slightly winning. Who knows what I was doing? I'm just saying that was me as a 24, 26, 27, 28-year-old self. So, you say this, but dude, you're 24. You got bands, Matty Ice. You're mixing it up. You're shaking your bacon. You're a household name in poker. So you're saying this and that, dude. You're 20-4.
I don't know. I've never thought about my age. I've never thought about it.
Because you're like what's it called? You're like the guy in the show. What's that show? The little what Dungeons and Dragons, Green-Eyed Asian shouting out Chartered 30. Oh man, but you're like the guy, the advanced guy. What's that show, man? Modern Family. Like the kid, Manny, who thinks he's an adult at like 10. Like you're in there comparing and talking about, like, you're talking about guys that are 50 and 40 and 35 and shit, man. You got a decade like ahead on a lot of people. So just come on, Matt. I mean, I got to make you smell the roses on this one. Like, you're ahead of the game. Right. That's the point.
All right. I hear you.
So anyway, that's my rant. But I don't even know where to go from here. Let's first of all just give a little shout. If you're not following Matt on Twitch, there you go. You should be. Look at that. Help him hit that 100K. He's almost there. We got Green-Eyed Asian in the chat. He just said I missed Ding Hao, reference to Baltimore. Anyone in Baltimore knows Ding Hao. I hope that place is still there. I kept that place in business. Some late night orders in my those were some dark times. A lot of beer, a lot of Chinese food, not a lot of working out. Matt, tell them what people can expect if they're watching and they don't know you. What do they get on your stream? What are you doing? How are you different than some of these other crushers and guys that are streaming right now?
My stream has always been basically me trying to make it. I'm trying like hard to succeed at the high stakes and like grow my bankroll. And my stream's always been about transparency too. I show my results. Like, I'm on a huge downswing right now. Like, I've had some good scores, but like the PowerFest, like Scoop, all these series, I bricked everything. So like, I'm on a huge downswing. They see that. I have my daily results there. I have my bankroll total over the last few years, so it's just like it's all about the journey of me, like trying to figure it out poker wise, and I like to educate a little bit too, if it's the right kind of audience. Like, I don't always play correctly, but if people are playing low stakes in my channel, like I do have some good information for people and like some nice ways to play hands. So yeah, I like to talk a lot about it's a lot poker. It's very poker stream. I'm not talking about lifestyle too much in there. Like, I'm talking about poker. I'm trying to figure out the game, and yeah, that's my stream. And I'm trying to make it.
I got to ask you, because this is fascinating to me. I haven't streamed in like maybe a month and a half or two. I did
Yeah.
flicking and location. I couldn't play on party. I know the big WPT coming up. Excited to see that. I'll sweat that, maybe stream a bit during that, play a little what I can play, and then also show some of the stuff. But I hopped in. There was a Venom. It was a big event. It was a 7 mil guarantee, 7 mil purse. I got 90th out of 2,800. I was one tabling it, showing some party stuff, keeping up with whatever. But I just feel I was actually did it yesterday. I was one tabling. I did my taxes. And I had one table going. It was very focused. It wasn't even streaming, just one table. Like I never do that. I never play and don't stream. But I was like, you know what? This particular tournament, I'm able to play it. Big whatever. Played it, bagged it. Day 2, one bullet, whatever. So I go back and forth between thinking I'm an amazing poker player, and sometimes when I'm like 6-10 tabling and things are getting spread out like I don't want to even use an analogy. Things are getting bad, and I don't know. And the confidence is so big in poker. But my question to you: how do you, with all your Twitch experience, what is your sweet spot for tables playing? Because I know playing 1 or 2 tables is different. Like I feel like I might be one of the best players in the world, 1 or 2 tables. 6 to 10, I don't even know if I can. I don't think I can be $22 tournaments at 6 to 10. And I've tried it. I've forced it. I've done it. I feel like all Twitch wants to see one deep run, but no, if you take down the buy-ins, you take up the engagement, and you play better. So that's what I got to start doing. I'm giving up on the dream of the 6 to 10.
We've had this conversation so many times.
I need to have it again. What are you doing? What have you fine-tuned it? Where are you on this? Because this is huge. And I think I want. This is almost. I could do an entire podcast with poker player guests about this topic. It's so fascinating to me. Yeah. I think it's so overlooked, and it's so what's the word? It's not been perfected. Like there should be a formula to be able to see what your sweet spot is. And I think most people would be naive, and it's going to be less is more. What does Matt Staples do on tables?
I've shifted into the higher side actually recently. I've shifted from 6, like a 6 was always my standard. I've gone to like 4, but then back to 6. I've gone to 8, then back to 6. Like it always just lands on 6 because it fits the table, like it fits the screen nicely. It's enough action. But I've actually
you're on a downswing and you're going up tables. Maybe you should take it down. What about 4?
I mean,
what about
downswings
2?
are a whole nother concept. You're saying that, but putting in less volume could make my downswing last longer. Like let's say I am playing well, then like putting in less volume would be a hindrance to my success. So it's a tricky subject. But
okay, so you think 6? What do you think your sweet spot though of your best ability of playing? 4? What's your actual best, like where you're just crushing it? You know what's going on. You knew that guy folded a small blind. When you can't tell me if that guy's folding a small blind or not, and at what frequency, you're not in the matrix on the plane. And that's when 1-2 table allows you. You know what's happening, the tempo of it. You know this guy's tight. You saw the showdown. You see the hands. When you're 6, 8, 10 tabling, you're not seeing that. You don't see what that guy was all in with. Did he double? Pads blows my mind. That guy, I don't even think he's a real person. He must have spotters behind him with like 4 people, like fold there, hand here, which I don't even know if that's illegal, right? It's not telling you what to do or play, but like I always thought that would be helpful if you had like eyes to just like the non-important decisions, like you're timing out, like because you can have one timeout and it spirals you. You fold queens. You misclick here. Your time bank's over there. You're in the 6 max PLO turbo KO, double knockout, triple whammy.
Yeah, don't reg that tournament. I'll just start you there. Don't reg that tournament.
That's tell me like.
Listen, if you're playing tables and you feel like you're missing action, like if I'm playing tables and I feel like I'm missing action, if my time bank's being run into quite often, I know I'm playing too many tables. Like I agree with you there. If you feel a bit lost, if you feel like, if your time bank is getting run out and you're folding hands based on time bank, like that's a clear indicator that you're just playing too many tables. But like there's smart people in poker that just like argue for volume, like maybe you do miss the small blind, but like, let's say you do miss the small blind, but the amount that's hurting your win rate versus having the extra tournament up where you get to play, play your premiums, play your good hands, like you're going to catch enough spots. So I don't know, man. I hear you because I also feel like I play really well on low tables. Like I'm like, oh yeah, like he doesn't have that hand in the small blind because he would have 3-bet that pre. I can make this bluff. Like you make those matrix plays and you're like, shit, like I wouldn't have caught that if I had 8 tables or 10. But like, is that enough of a factor to not have an extra 4 profitable registrations open? And like, dude, I don't have an answer for you. I don't.
Yeah, It's tough, man. It's tough. And also I think there needs to I think a fundamental of I need better foundation rules. If I'm close to, I don't know, or I'm timing out, just call or just see a flop or time. My time bank game's never been good. I got to give a shout out to my man Beggs Clutch, Tim Begley, for back in the day, played a lot online, and he had sick time bank stuff. Being comfortable that it's not gonna I get anxious sometimes if time out if it is it activated, is it gonna work? Let the time bank go a bit, use some tricks, do some timing stuff. But I just feel I've never been great with time bank, and I think some people are really good at that. What they have it, when they don't, they balance, they're even using it correctly. I don't know. I just feel I need better default tricks, stuff I need better multi-table organization, bigger buy-ins in different color in the right spot, move it over to the primary, on your screen, right? You got the 6 slots, but there's the money slots, the there 2 by the camera, you're kind of looking, then there's then you got your side piece slots, and then you got kind of the shit on the side that you're
big
just
buy-ins, big buy-ins in the middle every time.
In the middle. Interesting. Okay, I like that. I usually go right, but yeah. So anyway, I need some better tricks. But all right, I think we covered that. We've covered this before. This is the second podcast, guys, with Matt Staples. We got a different background. We've grown up a little bit. We're at different periods of our life, but we have had a podcast with Matt. If you want to go watch, and we do cover a lot of stuff there as well. That was maybe a year ago and a half, even a long time ago. I can't remember.
Yeah,
we got to find a date. 2019 even. Yeah. So we were overdue. I do want to have one with you and Jamie at the same time later in this year. We'll do that. I think Jamie's going to be on next week as well. So that'll be fun to catch up with him. Give me your relationship with Jamie. How has your relationship progressed over the years? He's got your serious girlfriend. He's engaged. He's in different continent. What's going on? Are you and Jamie, are you in daily calls? Are you running each other? You're doing the daily some challenges on party you're playing. How often you keep up with Jamie? What's your guys' relationship currently?
Yeah, we talk quite a bit still. We talk, I'd say a few times a week, because we play games together sometimes. We both play Valorant, actually. So yeah, we'll play some games. We'll be on a Discord call for a few hours and chat. So we have a lot of time to talk. And then Jamie's getting deeper into his poker study. So we've been actually talking some poker lately as well, once a week or whatever. We'll talk about hands, and yeah, we keep up quite a bit. And of course, party poker, he's kind of let me know what's going on with when I'm doing challenges and this and that. So yeah, we are in steady contact. Haven't been able to see each other forever since January 2020. I haven't seen Jamie in person. So.
How is that aspect of it? And do you feel almost socially, because I've started to do a little more things. I got some trips planned, and I have seen a few people, but it's kind of it's a little different, right? It's kind of weird to not really talk or see people or family after such a long period of time. It's just a bit bizarre. How do you, I guess you see your parents though, right? You see your parents a fair amount?
I haven't seen my parents for a long time either. Because I don't live in the same city as them, so with COVID, I haven't really visited them. I guess maybe twice over the last year. I've seen my parents. I do talk to them as well on the phone and stuff, but yeah, there's just been a very low amount of contact.
Interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
And what do you think? What's your perception of the current state of poker? What do you believe is going on with? Is it sustainable? We saw big numbers, big boost, obviously with COVID. People are online sites are pumped up. What's been your feeling about this, the level of the games, the quality of the tournaments, the prize pools? Do you feel poker is, where are we? Give me a little graph. What's happening? Where are we now? Where's going to be in a year or two? U.S. states, Michigan, shout out to Michigan.
Stuff seems to be opening up a bit.
Things are happening. What are you thinking?
I mean, that is. I'm not even from the U.S. and I'm excited about that. I like to see that there's states opening up and people can play on nice software, regulated poker down there. It's I'm excited about that. As for kind of global poker, it seems good. I don't know. I'm not a big stats guy. It does seem good. There's the series that were just run were massive. They were just massive. The tournaments that were happening and full schedules from these sites. It's I don't know. It seems big. It seems live and well. It doesn't feel different than a few years ago. Maybe it's a bit smaller, but I don't know. It seems fine to me.
And what about the quality of play? When you're battling 3,200 or 1Ks and 500s, obviously tough fields, but are you wow? Is Are you seeing stuff that you're like, all right, like this is worth, like there's some people giving away, or are you kind of like, man, this is, I'm in there flipping a lot and spots are tough.
For me, where my current game is, it's tough. The games like the 500 and up, those games are tough for me anyway. Like you'll hear the top ranks be like, oh, like these games are good. They seem to think the games are really good, but it's probably because I'm hopping in the games. You know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm at for these. So yeah, I think it's tough for me to say because I feel like I'm just a bit of a dog in the 1Ks and the 2Ks and the 5Ks and stuff like that. So yeah, it feels tough.
Tell me a bit about your YouTube and what's happening here, because you got a nice following here as well. Got some nice banners, nice videos made. What is your content outlook like? Do you have an editor? Give me a process on how a video gets put out for you.
Yeah, so these are all, well, most of these are stream highlights. So if I have any good streams where I have any kind of deep run, I'll send it over to my editor, which I work with Partypoker for that, and yeah, they just chop it up, make a nice little highlight video, and I try to get a few of those out every week. And I love having a YouTube community too. That's kind of another thing. That's another thing I want to do better is I would like to be a YouTuber as well. I don't know if you feel like a YouTuber yourself, like you have a separate community there. Like for me right now, it's just I stream on Twitch and I'll just throw my stuff on YouTube. But like I don't really connect with the YouTube guys. But I'd like to switch that around and try to get personal with YouTube, because it's I don't know, it's just a fun platform.
It is fun. I have mixed feelings like about YouTube and I, I kind of have like these days where I'll wake up and I'm like, man, it'd be kind of fun to do like Gary V type thing where I just have like people around me. Like I have like someone like videoing stuff, like putting stuff out, doing it. But then I'm like, I'm not really in the space where it's like the stuff I like, whether I do some live poker stuff. I've been playing some decent, pretty high stakes PLO and doing some stuff. But like, I think like the funny part about poker is a lot of the most interesting stuff. Like there's been some ideas of people I know, like where they were going to film them going to their private games in LA or Vegas and like seeing kind of like, it would be pretty interesting, right? Like if you name some characters in poker and like see what they're doing on a daily basis, the games they're in, the environment they're in, it'd be pretty interesting. I mean, look at Paul Pierce. Absolutely ridiculous what happened. Like crazy that he did that. Like, I don't know what the people he was with, what they were thinking to like not allow, someone should have been there to like, yo, bro, what are you doing? Or help him out. But, he punted that contract, did that. But like in theory, people would like to see the private game lifestyle. They'd like to see a daily, I'd be interested. What's Matt doing on a daily? Like, you're streaming a lot, but let's say you go to the store, you go to the park, you're hanging with friends, you're talking, you're stressed. Like if I could be a fly on the wall and see like your day or Jamie's day or any streamer, any known like poker guy that's in the mix, like it'd be interesting to see like how they conduct themselves, how they talk to people, how they do stuff, how they move, like whatever, right? But you can't really, the juicy stuff is all kind of private, or other people are involved that don't want to be involved, right? It's like gambling, it's like whatever. So it's kind of a tricky one. So I don't know. I've debated about that, but I just don't think it would be that interesting if you like can't really show like the full.
If you can't show it all,
like what you're doing, how you're doing.
The private game, you're right about that. That would be sick to know about, like all the private games and the big pots and the characters. You're right. That would be huge.
It would be a great show, but like that's all them have families and they're kind of, they don't want to be like guys are CEOs, this or that. Like, oh, he's out, playing $200,000-$300,000 pots and ripping Patron shots at 4 a.m. when he's, up at 7 for his board meeting. It's like, it's not really, it doesn't really work. There's no amount of money or thing that you'd be able to do to make them be enrolled in that. So I think it's just a bit tricky, but I get what you're saying. I like for the World Series, it makes sense though, right? Like if you went out to the World Series, like kind of wake up, you work out, you have a routine, you play. So like I tried doing that a bit, but also it's usually like me doing the videos. Like I have a guy that helps, but it's just kind of hard. Like to have them around all the time and do it right and then get it edited. And like Negrani does a pretty good job of that, right? Like he's got a guy and he does some stuff and he has like a nice like clockwork getting the videos out and people like that. And that type of thing I think is interesting. You throw in a deep run, you go to the World Series, you're in there. There's a lot of people, interesting people that you can talk or do a little, thing with or whatever. So that would make sense. But
I think I've done this backwards. Like all the traveling and the vlogging that Jamie did and like all these experiences, if I could just transfer those all to now, like where my current personality is and like my current stream is and what I want to do and what I enjoy, that would be perfect, man. Like I want to do everything that I did in 2017, I want to do now. Like I'm ready for that again. Like I want to do the travel, I want to do the stream house, I want to do the stream boat. You know, that's I'm looking forward to all that kind of stuff, man. I was much more in my shell back then, just trying to figure out what the heck was going on. And yeah, now I just want to do fun stuff.
Right. It's not, I mean, like you said, you have a foundation now. You've done like a lot where you don't feel as anxious if you do go away for a little and come back. I mean, look at like Tonka, Somerville, guys like this that have these type of footprints that if they do take Lex, guys that, you know, they take a little break, or Finton, Spraggy. Yeah, like people are going to come back and realize that they got to live and have a life too and do some stuff, and then they want to come back and check in. But I'm with you. I'm with you for sure. Let's. I mean, man, I got a lot of other things I want to ask and topics, but I do want to make sure. I mean, you saw that I got tired scrolling. We are going to have to. We're going to take
a lot of questions.
Yeah, man. There's people want to know what's happening. There's Philly. Phil tomorrow. We'll get that question in. Tomorrow as well. We'll make sure to ask that. Phil is such a, there it is. Ice. If you win I'm going to give double. If you somehow win on the giveaway, we're going to, we'll do that. Look at the viewers shot up too when you tweet it, man. We got to give a little love out here. Let's let's make sure we get some of these questions. Anything else before we dive down the question deal? Is there anything that you personally would like to discuss that's going on, projects, ambitions, goals for 2021? I mean, you're hitting this 100K mark. That's pretty cool. It's around the corner. Anything planned for that? Any celebration? You got a local nightclub running out? What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a celebration seems fitting. 100K is just such a great milestone. It's just a great one. You know, it's clean. There's nothing really close to 100K either. You know, I don't. Do you celebrate 200K? I guess maybe you do. Like it goes from 100K to like half a milli to a milli almost.
Yeah. You know? I think 250 just sounds
250
cool.
is a good one too.
Yeah, 100 nice. It is for sure. It's exciting. So let's dive in. I'm gonna think of some more because I got a lot of stuff. And also I forget we've covered a fair amount on the we have covered a lot on the first podcast too, so I don't want to be too repetitive, but we've real quick before we go in, any shows on Netflix or Prime or anything that you like or things you've discovered over the last year, something you just like, you love the show, or maybe someone hasn't heard of, not
Homeland.
The Game of Thrones, like which one?
Homeland. That's a big one. Homeland. Yeah, it's
how many series are in that?
There's 8 seasons.
Is that the one with the guy? He's like in Billions, or the orange hair?
Yep.
Yeah. I think I saw the first 2 or 3 seasons, and it was very good. Like he's like the spy, good. Or he's like undercover. He's like or whatever. Like he's
he comes back from the Middle East, and like they don't know if he's like turned or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I still actually I don't even know the answer. When do they reveal that?
I won't spoil. I'm shouting it out.
What season, whether you know for sure or not, like that he's clear. Like, don't tell me if he is or isn't or whatever. Like, because I can't remember.
You would have seen it already. It's in the first few seasons for sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's in the first. Right. But that show's like fantastic. It's like movie. They have movie quality episodes, like hour and a half long. It's like high production. It's just like episode 5 of some random season. You're like, wow.
Yeah,
and actually Billions. I'm actually watching Billions right now. Sick show. Love it.
That's a good one as well.
Yeah.
He's in that, right?
Yeah, Bobby Axe. He gets me hyped up to become a billionaire.
Yeah, he's that is definitely a good one. All right, we're here. We're starting off with some Spanish. Looks like I'm gonna skip that one. Prop bets, we covered it. Any prop bets? Do you like prop bets? Do you think is that part of like your culture now? You've done some, you get it. Are you actively pursuing them? Do you bet on futures or anything, or are you just kind of sports betting anything, or just you hit your prop bet in your head and you got gave a little back, and now
I hit my one and done, gave a little back to the community, and I mean, if something, I'm sure in the future something will come up. Like I'm not opposed to them, but I'm not going out of my way to come up with bets to make my life more difficult, you know?
Right, for sure. Please ask Matt what it would take. Ghost of M, of course, the legend. We got to answer. He asked, we're going to answer. That's everyone's favorite mod. He asked, what would it take to get him to do a micro army redux challenge in 2021? 6 months, has to play games he played when starting, no higher buy-ins allowed. See if he can recreate his run up.
What would it would take tons of money and viewers, I guess. Like, cuz that's what I'm giving up, I'm giving up tons of money and viewers. So if I could be compensated somehow to do it, or maybe a prop bet, maybe there's a prop bet that would earn me a milli if I did that or something. Well, then that, I think that's what it would take. But it's I get this question a lot, like, would you do a microsticks challenge? And it's like, I'm not done my first microsticks challenge, like I came from the micros, I'm trying to conquer the high stakes. If I do that, like, I would be willing to go back down and like make a cool thing of it, playing the micros again and like teaching people how I would get out of the micros, I guess, essentially.
Right. Kind of like Charlie Carell, right? Something like that, where he's like playing and doing a lot of content.
Exactly. Yeah, like you notice the people that do microsticks challenges, Doug Polk, crusher of heads up, the best heads up player in the world, has so much money, whatever. He does the microsticks challenge. Charlie Carell, he does the microsticks challenge after crushing high stakes tournaments for how many years? Like, yeah, it's just a bit early for me, I think. A bit early.
Right. Makes sense. Good question. Now, favorite multi-table tournament won. First place. What's your favorite win?
I actually saw this one.
Ask Leo.
It would have been. It was actually a 215 Monday 6 max, like way back when on Stars. Because I was playing like low stakes at the time or something, and I forget how I got into this 215. Like maybe it was a satellite or something, but 215 was like an intimidating buy-in for me, and it was a 6 max deep structure, like not for the faint of heart, not for like a recreational player. And I managed to win it outright for 16K, which I think like must have doubled my roll or something, or like tripled my roll at the time. And that was probably my favorite first place I've ever had, honestly.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. That's definitely, anytime it's significant bankroll, the early ones can be not the biggest, but the most impactful, and allow you to kind of move forward and onward, upward, and feel confident and proceed. Well, what was the most difficult time? Like I've asked Jamie, I've asked you this, but just sort of tell me like what it feels like with your family and with gambling now. And I know your parents, like we've talked about this in the last podcast, some like your mom, or like they're watching, they're in there, they know what's going on. It's like very fun. Like how does that feel to have your parents supportive and engaging? And was it always the case? Remind me on what they felt initially when you and Jamie what was the gap between you and Jamie starting and streaming and playing poker? How long did it take you to dive?
It would have been well, Jamie playing poker would have been like 5 years or so. Jamie's been playing poker for a lot longer, because I was still in high school when Jamie was playing poker, for money online. So the gap is pretty huge. But in terms of like playing professionally and whatever, by the time that I had started playing for fun, because that's how I did start playing, I just played microsticks for fun. They had already seen Jamie do his thing. Jamie was already a streamer. He was already competing with Jay Carver. So like they were getting the intro while I was just starting to play. So like when it came to me playing poker, they were already used to it. I think Jamie did struggle a bit with my parents at the beginning, like when he was becoming a poker pro. I think they obviously didn't understand, and there was a bit of like, oh god, like my son's gonna be a gambler, like he's got to go to this, got to go to that. So, but yeah, it's been an easy road for me. I also never had a conversation with them. I was never like, hey guys, like I want to be a poker pro. I was just like, yeah, I'm living with Jamie and now I'm doing this. And they're like, okay. So
yeah, it's kind of, I mean, yeah, they got to be pretty proud though, right? To see their kids both like, they're sponsored. Like it's cool because you basically, and I say this all the time, and when people jump around or move from one site to another, again, people, LeBron James, right? He moves, he goes from Cleveland to Miami to Lakers. This, like, people move, get traded. There's 32 teams. It's a little less intense. When people jump from Poker Stars to Party Poker, or Party Poker to GG, or GG to ACR or whatever, like there's 4 or 5 major sites, right? Maybe throw in a couple more that people have deals with. Say there's 7, 8 sites. It's sort of like it's just more like noticeable, and it feels more sort of intense, but it's really not. It's just part of like right place, right time. Look at Moneymaker. He was a staple for 17, 18 years. Poker Stars, right? The timing with him and family and having to travel around, and US poker not there. He signs with ACR. It looks kind of shocking, but really it's just simply about economics and timing. Same thing with us. I love Poker Stars. Jamie loves Poker Stars. Kevin loves Poker Stars. Party Poker in the moment with Rob Young and with what they're doing, their vision, and also they didn't have a Twitch team. They wanted Jamie and myself. I talked with Rob. He says, hey, I want to build it. I want to it's good for poker. That is no question. Like, competition's good. 888 only at Tonka. Now they signed some people. They got some people streaming. That's good. PokerStars has, still they were the monopoly. They still have some big guys, the biggest with Lex and whatnot. It's good. Party has a team now. That's good. GG's gotten big. That's good. Like, and I think now you're seeing you're able, you're playing on some other sites. I play on some other sites sometimes. It's okay to promote and have everyone kind of like, it's not like taboo. Like, it's like, look, the Lakers play the Clippers. Like, they have fans on both. Like, they interact, they build. It's like, it's good to have friendly competition.
Yeah, I think it's just it's about being realistic about like what a poker pro is, and like, an ambassador's supposed to, ambassador's supposed to like hype up the good stuff that's happening with the site, like shout out the series, like what's like, hey guys, check this out. Like, this is a really good series. Check out these structures. These are great tournaments. It's not like, our stuff is good and everyone else sucks. It's like, no, like, hey, check out the good stuff we have going on here, and I think that's just a much more realistic way to look at it. And like, I think people know that too. So I think it's better. Yeah, I agree with you.
Right. Yeah. And tell me what it feels like. Do you ever, now looking at it, you signed a multi-year deal, you're with a major site. What does that actually mean to you? How has it sunk in since we talked last time? It was pretty fresh, I think, after you were signed. What is like kind of, is it kind of getting the monkey off your back? Because for a period of time, you and Pav, I remember when Jamie and I were like, we have to have them with Party. Like, these guys crazy, they're not signed, but like your stock was so high. You guys had and like you had options. It wasn't like, oh, I need to get signed. Like, you were just waiting. It was like, where do you go? You had some offers coming in. What was that like though, to kind of like, what did that do for you legitimacy wise, for you to be with like a powerful brand and come into to be represented? What did that mean and feel?
I mean, it's been pretty awesome. It's been pretty awesome, like getting to work with a team and like just having a badge. It's just it's more of like I guess a sense of pride than anything. It's like, hey, you've like earned your stake in the poker world. Like, a site values your name, your community enough to like make you an ambassador. So I guess it's just like a prideful thing. It feels nice. Nice.
Got a question here from Tom Nolan's asking, who is your poker idol? Do you have anyone business-wise, poker-wise, from growing up watching? Like, were you too young even when like high stakes poker was on TV, like airing? Were you in like middle school?
I watched that on YouTube, man.
Right.
I never even caught it live. Yeah.
So like, is anyone, any characters from that? Anyone now, whether they're like just crushers player wise, like whatever, is there anyone who do you like look up and like, wow, like these guys are great. And like, this is like what I either like model my game or I model what I want. Like, who do you look up to in poker?
Poker's a bit weird because even though I'm much worse than a lot of the people I compete against at the high stakes, it's kind of hard to idolize people that you play against. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, right. I'm gonna hop into the 1K with this other guy. So like, I'm not gonna, like send him a tweet and say like, oh, I love your game. Like, it's like, hey, I'm playing against that guy. Like, I also got to these stakes. Now, that's not to be said that guy's not way better than me and he doesn't deserve my respect, but I just don't idolize the players, I guess. So I wouldn't use the word idol, but I do respect people's game. Like, Ben CB is a big one. I mean, he's coached me some, and I find it so sick how good he is and how consistently he crushes. And Patrick Leonard's the other one that I like following his journey, like how much he wins, like how dedicated he is to grinding and playing the series. And those two, I would say, Ben CB and Patrick Leonard.
Great choices. Best right hand poker. Just tell me your fun hand, not aces. What's like Jack 9 suited, 5-4 suited?
I like the suited eights, King 8 suited, Jack 8 suited. Those are nice. Yeah, suited eights.
Awesome. Very, 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 very good hands. Those are the cracker hands. Do you like the alias change in party poker? So party poker is, of course, man, we rep, well, this way, that's so confusing. Over here, we rep them, we love them, they've done some nice innovative things. They've taken some chances with no HUDs. They've done some alias different things now that EOS. What do you? Hey,
Well, all my
yeah.
patches have no like they don't stick.
All right,
But
fair
shout out
enough.
to Party Poker. I got it here. Don't worry.
I love it. Well, of course, we're rocking, we're repping, we're rocking. So tell me, what do you think? New alias stuff. What's your thoughts on like these HUDs and alias and all that? Like, what now that we've done this, real names, alias, all these things. Like, what are your take on these topics, and what do you think that you like and don't like?
I mean, for me, like I don't. I guess for me personally, like having to like redo my notes on players, like after building up like a an image on a guy and getting some good notes and stuff, like having to reset that, I can see that that's kind of frustrating. But when it comes down to Party Poker, they do all this stuff for the players for integrity reasons, and it's really hard to argue against that. You know what I mean? And they want to put out a poker site that is recreational friendly. You hop online, you're not going to be bum hunted. There's not going to be this huge database of notes on you, right? There's no HUDs. There's an alias change. You get a fresh start. You get to just hop in the tournament, play it fair and square, and like I understand that vision. So yeah, it's not a big thing to me.
Right.
But, yeah.
And the no HUD though. Are you just still? How do you feel on that now that like that?
I like no HUDs. I don't understand HUDs at all in online poker. I think it's the craziest thing.
Honestly, like the thing about it, it's just intimidating because it's like a whole nother thing you have to consider. Am I using it correctly? Like,
sure.
What are they doing? How am I I forget the notes and all that, or people knowing real names, this and that. But like when you go break in there and you got a guy like Jungle Man or guys that are like on the 4 set and they're clicking in there and they're seeing your turn bet size, like that's intimidating. And like that does feel bad. So like, I think I for sure like not having it because again, like look, I can look at the PFR, the VPIP, and like use it. And when you're 8 tabling or 6 tabling, it's nice to kind of look over quickly and see something. But like when you have to, basically the answer is I don't think I'm using it as well as everyone else, and I'm sure people use it worse than me, and that becomes problematic. So I do think that's good to not have.
So if I just learned about online poker today, and somebody says, yeah, so I have a software for you that keeps track of everyone at your table, every single decision that they do on every street, and you can gather all these stats on every one of your opponents. I'd be like, oh, that's illegal for sure. It must be. Like that's when you hear that, it's like that. There's no way that would be allowed in online poker, but it is. Like that's a thing. HUDs. I just think it's such a crazy thing to allow. Now that being said, like if they were allowed, I would use one because I just think it's like it's a tough edge to pass up. But I just it makes complete sense that they're not allowed. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Also, to be fair too, like when you see Ben CB streamer guys, like when you look at his thing or his videos and you see that on the screen, it literally looks like the Matrix. Pretty wild. Like it's not even just like a little like command center HUD, like with a couple stats. Like it is you can't help to notice it, and that is a bit intimidating. So I think that would be a nice movement if all the sites kind of got aligned and just did take that away. I see the legend John Duffy in the chat. Hello, John. Hope to have him on the podcast at some point. That's one of the OGs in poker right there, man. That's a guy. He's better at his hobby than my profession. You look up, he's final table, this 10K, party million, this and that. Like he's in there. Well, it's frustrating when a guy plays like 1 or 2 tournaments a year and they have a better overall net, thing. But anyway, John's in the chat. Hello, John.
Played some pots against John Duffy this year.
Yeah,
I think.
He's check raised a few people in his life. He knows how to play the game. So John's in there. Good to see him. Green-eyed Asian got a lot of royalty in the chat today. Good to see everyone. Let's keep it rolling on the questions because we do have a lot. All right, some religious questions we'll skip. That's politics, religion, COVID. We'll try to keep it to a minimum. See, people are asking about this change about the tables and about some of these things. I like the questions, but we'll try to find. Let's find something else here. A lot of compliments. There's a lot of fans, Matt. There's a lot of questions.
This is nice to see. I appreciate everyone.
This is sort of like questions in. Oh, we got more. Oh, I think there's another. I just confused myself. Let me go back here. Hold on. Go here. We're gonna go here. And look at that. Over 100 questions, Matt.
I need to start my podcast so I can ask you questions about your ventures because I we could double this whole thing down, and we could go on your part of things, because we need. This is us. I haven't talked to Jeff for a long time. This is a full catch up, and
This is nice. We're doing a hybrid here, so we're gonna have to. We'll after the pod, we'll definitely we'll keep it going. We'll do a proper, just like the show. Like we said, listen, if everything we could talk about and be open book about everything and just like let everything ride, I think it would be a great show and it would be a great combo. But some things, they're private things. You got to just, it's not for podcast talk. Here, we got a hair question. How is your hair so voluptuous? What hair products do you use? This is actually kind of a joke, but kind of serious. What are you using these days?
I use shampoo and conditioner about twice a week. That's my strategy.
No free plugs. You don't want to hit Head and Shoulders or someone for a little just like courtesy.
No
freebies, guys. Matt, if you're a hair company and you're in the mix, I've seen a couple. There's been a couple people sprinkling.
Have you ever had long hair?
Not really. Never did like yours. No, I don't have a lot. I'm not like I've never had. No, actually, my wife loves long hair, but like it doesn't grow right. I tried it once. There's some pictures you could probably find. It was just absolute mess. I was on life tilt.
Yeah.
I let it go for like
nice hairline.
3 months.
You have a nice hairline. You keep it.
And it just wasn't me. It was really, it didn't, I was pissed off. I'll just say that. It doesn't look, I didn't feel good. I was actually on tilt, and I did that for my wife one time. And now, we're in there. What's up? It's 5 payday in the house, man. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Young men just have hair luck. That's funny. Yeah, no, it's nice. It's good to have, Matt. You got a good head of hair there. I like the long hair look. That's nice for sure. Not everyone can pull it off. If you can do it, you do it. I think you got to run it. Let's see. Okay, we got a question here from Beaster76. Hey Matt, if I move to Canada and want to play live poker at least twice a week, what city would you recommend? Shout out to Canada, all the Canadians out there. What do you got?
I don't know I don't play live poker. I don't know. I mean, Calgary's got good. Yeah, I have to skip. Because this guy's gonna show up in Canada in about 2 months. He's gonna be pissed. I have to skip.
Okay. Just if you don't know, you don't know. I respect that. Svetlana from Brazil allegedly is asking for your favorite movie. Matt, I just want to say Matt is off the table. Svetlana looks like she's getting into a cozy question. But what's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie?
This is a hard one. This always trips people up.
Yeah. Does anyone actually have a favorite movie? You do?
Yeah. Shawshank Redemption, yeah.
I mean, it's top 5. It's everyone's top 5. I'm gonna go with Parasite. That came out this year.
Parasite that's a play on what happened in the thing in the world? Is COVID? I haven't seen it.
No, it's not about that. It's a. Is it a Korean film? I'm not sure. It came out this year and it blew up. It's kind of a joke about class. Like middle class, upper class, and I don't know. It's a complex movie.
Is that good? Your favorite movie ever?
Probably my favorite movie ever, Parasite.
Wow,
yeah.
I'm gonna watch.
I'm waiting for somebody in the chat to say something to validate my choice, but nobody's saying anything. So
it's been a little quiet for my liking for this many people knowing to see.
Parasite is okay. Sorry.
Had me at Korean. Green-eyed Asian is enrolled. We're gonna check that out and cut back to you. I will watch that. Is it like big? Is it like an indie style or is it like blockbuster?
Yeah, kind of indie style, but it's high production. It's Hollywood,
All right. Yeah. Let's see.
It will not disappoint. I mean, it is unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
All right. Well, I'm gonna watch it. That's great. I love getting a nice, good movie suggestion, especially one that I haven't heard. All right. I gotta ask you. Where do you see yourself? Someone's asking here about 7 to 10 years will you make a living off poker? Do you see yourself like a Phil Hellmuth, Daniel Negreanu? Like, is that something? Would you like to be going around playing tournaments, getting deals? Forget about the sponsorship, streaming, all that. Like, do you want to be in poker? Do you see yourself in 20 years in the main event and like playing for a living, playing poker one way or the other? Is it hard? Can you imagine that being like 45 and playing poker? Like a moneymaker, like a Hellmuth, a guy that's like, in like household name isn't like, because you're probably not going to be grinding streaming in 20 years. Who knows if what's happening in the world at that point, but like, do you see yourself making a full-time living off poker in the future?
I think so. Yeah. I'm leaning towards yes. It's so hard to tell, obviously, but I don't know. I've just dedicated so much time to the game at this point that I can't see myself leaving. I would like to be in it somehow. So,
You know, I gotta say about poker, like the more it hurts me when I see people that like play for a living that are like that I hear this a lot where they're like, I don't like it, or they're, you know, you get some guys are stuck in makeup, or you know, the guy like they're just in there and they're not happy. They're in there going through the motions. You can feel it too. The one thing that bothers me a bit at times, like if I'm at a live table and like you feel it, sometimes you get the greatest group, guys are having some drinks and having fun, telling jokes, and having a good time, and sometimes it's very serious, very, you know, whatever. I guess my point though is like poker to me is such a beautiful game. Like the combination of skill and luck, and that like if you have other stuff kind of going on, whether you know you recreational or part time, or you know you're pro but you have some other sort of stuff happening, like it's just such a beautiful game. Like the decisions, the equities, but then there's still always a chance to get bailed out or a flip, or I don't know. It's just such like it's so fun when there's like you take out the other stuff, the distractions or the stress or whatever. It's just such a great game, and I do think it's going to be around, you know, forever. I don't think the numbers will slow down as long as the economies are good, the world's in order. I just think poker is going to be, you know, there's other variants. PLO, there's 5 cards. I was playing 6 card high low the other day. 6 card on my high low. Don't even know. Don't ask me how. That game, no one's done solver work on that, not that I know of, and like that kind of stuff. Like the game, the combination of luck and skill. I just think there's always gonna be a new game. Short deck, this deck, my deck, her deck. Like there's just gonna be games, you know.
I'd like to play some her deck. Yeah. They should get a game of her deck going.
Her deck. It could be anything, man. There's a lot of stuff. So anyway, what are your thoughts on that? Like, do you just feel like you love it, or is it kind of times you're like, man, this is fun. It's a job, but it's kind of tough and it's like monotonous. Do you ever feel like it's like that?
I don't know if I don't know if I love poker. I don't know if I'd love it. I really enjoy competing in it. So I like trying to get good, and I've enjoyed that up until now. But I didn't get into poker out of like love. I'm not obsessed with it, as a lot of people are. Like a lot of people love poker. They can talk poker all day. They love. When I'm off of the poker tables, I'm usually pretty off of it. And like I also, in the back of my head, I also realize that there's a lot of ways to live life as well. I always keep that in the back of my head. Like I'm in this poker world, but like I don't have to be always, you know. Like there is other ways to live, and there's other paths to take. So I'm not one dimensional when it comes to, you know, my love for poker, like what I do. But for now, like I love competing, and I love that I've found success in it. So I want to keep doing it for as long as that feels good.
For sure. And what about, let me ask you about Jamie and competing, because you guys have done some challenges. Party's got some really fun, Party Poker TV. Really, if you guys haven't followed that, by the way, you should definitely do that. Check out a lot of challenges, a lot of really high production value, some big, you know, whole cards, high stakes events where they're showing you not only final table, but whole cards up. I think you've done some commentary. I've done some commentary. What is it like when you battle with Jamie? Because like it's most of the time it's fun, right? You guys are doing a competition. You're doing like a 50 to 5, a $200, you know. But like if let's just take this 3,200 World Poker Tour, Sunday, day 1A, the 23rd of May. All right. You bag chips. Day 1B, May 30th, Party Poker, WPT, big event, 3 mil guaranteed. All right. Day 2, you guys are battling a little bit. Day 3, so you make the final table, and you and Jamie are playing for hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you guys are there. Is it like, what is like the mentality of that? Is it like, oh, like I got 5s, he has ace king, and I have 20 blinds, and he opens the cutoff? Like not soft play, want to beat him, want to whatever, but like how do you deal? You know, you see Alex Foxon and Kristen Bicknell, congrats to them getting engaged, like that type of relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, brother, Doyle and Todd, you know, family members, relation, like what happens when you guys are deep final table for 500K to first at a WPT title, but you both are like, you know, 4th and 5th in chips, 9-handed. Like what's the dynamic there? Talk me through it.
There would be no like soft play. There's none of that. There would be none of that. We want to compete. We both want to win separately, but there's also like, I'm sure both of us would want to. We would want it to be 1-2 or 2-1. Like we'd want it to be heads up or a chop or something. Like that would be a good result. We want each other to succeed. But like not to the point where we'd ever be like, oh, like I'm gonna fold here because let's make this money. You know, any tournament that we play, we're gonna be in there to just battle and see who wins. And it's like always good banter too. You know, it's good banter to play pots together and knock each other out and stuff. So yeah, I mean, we want each other to succeed, but
I'm obviously I'm not asking about soft. Like I'm more about like exactly that though. You want to go 1 and 2. You know,
yeah,
it's both so big for you guys now, like Twitch professionally and whatever. So I just find that kind of like difficult. Like even like with me and friends, like a really good friend, like it happens like where I'm never gonna soft play or like do something unethical, but you also like subconsciously, like there's a lot of times in poker where it's close, right? Like you get ace 4
sure,
suited and
yeah.
there's an open. It's like, all right, this is a good 3-bet, whole 3-bet
Well,
jam. Like you probably I just feel like subconsciously it's like you're gonna always err on like, you're not gonna 3-bet him with the ace 5 off in a spot where you
backwards.
just know
It's
it's right. Like,
backwards with Jamie and I. It's backwards. Yeah. Like we'll go after each other. Like Jamie knocks me out of tournaments all the time. He'll knock me out and he'll send me a voice message like right after on WhatsApp, and he'll just like be chirping me for 30 seconds. And like I have to deal with that all the time.
okay, so
Yeah.
I like, okay, I think you answered the question. Well, I hope,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm not going to be able, based on whatever location, and I'm not going to be able to play at WBT, but that's a big one. That'll be fun. I do hope, we'll call it first when you and Jamie are final table at one of these big WPTs or a big spot. That'll definitely be fun to watch. I can't imagine
Yeah.
the viewership on that would be really, really fun to see that dynamic. All right. Good question. Sergio asks, what was your biggest difficulty in your playing career, and if you ever thought about giving up poker?
I've never thought about giving up. No. I guess there's been a few moments in time where I just didn't have the information at my disposal. Like there's just been a few times where I didn't know why I was bad. And like that happens, you get to a certain point and you're like, I feel like I get this game. I don't know why my opponents are beating me so much. And that's happened a few different times, when I've tried to move up in stakes. I'm just like, I feel like I get this, but I'm losing. And my opponents are definitely playing better than me, but I just don't know why or how. And like that's kind of a struggle in poker, is like figuring out how to get better at different stages. In the beginning, it's super easy, right? You learn how to see bet, you learn position, you learn ranges. That's easy. That's a immediate thing you can do. Once you get up to the high stakes, suddenly it's like trying to figure out how to gain an edge is a lot trickier. It's a lot trickier. So that's the struggle, is like trying to figure that out. But
Yeah, no, I completely agree. What's the best advice you can give to a new MTT player? Someone's here, they're diving in, they kind of like poker, they want to, they log on to Party Poker, put on $100. What's your advice to someone for playing multi-table tournaments?
take your time. Don't try to get rich on one day. That's my advice. Don't log on trying to get rich on day one. It's a very long process. Like even if you find success in the beginning, you're gonna succeed for a bit. You're gonna go on downswings. It's gonna take a long time to get good. So if you like really like playing, just take your time and like enjoy the fact that you're playing, and maybe play a little bit lower than you think you should, just to extend the process. I just think a lot of people are trying to hop on and be like, yeah, like I want to win 6K today. I'm like, that's great, because maybe you do. Like that's fun. Like I get it. But if you keep doing that day in, day out, like you're gonna lose that 6K, and then you're back to square one. So just take your time. That's my advice.
And do you have any bankroll sort of tricks, rules? Do you, like buy-in wise, how have you been able to sort of progress? Obviously, the big bet, the coming up got a nice roll though, but like even then, you said it didn't really change, right? Sort of like that was life money put aside. Your poker didn't really change. Like, how have you? What have you found that works to sort of progressively move up stakes and do it the right way?
Yeah, so I was always super strict. I would just follow strict in the sense that I didn't take a lot of shots. And it's a little weird because now that I'm where I'm at now, like I would, with like the logic and the experience I have, I would approach it differently. Like I probably would take some more shots and like play a good event here, play a good event there. But when I was learning, I didn't know where those shots were, so I just stuck to my 100 buy-ins, played the 100 buy-ins till I had enough to move up, tried that stick, didn't work, moved back down. And I was just super super strict and disciplined. And you'll hear good players recommend like, hey, like you can be a bit more aggressive at this point in your bankroll, or a bit more aggressive here. And it's super logical to do that sometimes. But like, I think if you're new and you don't really know what's going on yet, just being strict, having like a 200 buy-in rule, 150 buy-in rule, just make your life easy and stick to it is the way to go. That's how I did it anyway.
Yeah, that's great advice. How big an influence has your brother had on your poker career, Jamie? How big of an influence has he been?
Huge at the beginning, at least. I mean, basically every part of my tournament strategy at the beginning came from Jamie's stream. Because like I didn't know how to play poker, and I watched his stream in the early days. So like I learned about c betting, I learned about bankroll management, I learned about ranges, where to play which hands from where at the table. All that came from Jamie. So like in the early days, it was like huge. Past that, it was pretty much all on my own, just learning as I played and checking out some training sites. So these days there's really nothing, but in the beginning it was primarily Jamie. Yeah.
Very, very cool. Favorite tournaments on Party Poker? Richard Bruning asking, what's your favorite Party Poker tournament to play daily? The Daily Legends, some great stuff now and cool stuff they're doing with that. What do you what's your one that you just love?
I like the 125 Open. It's a non-bounty, good prize pool. Like it's not too long of a tournament. It's just a nice one. Or the Gladiator, 55 Gladiator, which is 7 max bounty, I think. 7 max bounty. So yeah, those are my top two.
Yeah, the knockouts are awesome. Like it is really, I just love the format. I think we're gonna start seeing some like high roller live like this where there's big binds. I made a suggestion for Triton. Imagine like £1 million or the $1 million with like 250 a knockout or progressive knockout, right? Like especially in a tournament where it's not like 1,000 people, where you have like 50 or 40, you could like do it pretty find a way to just kind of like they could bring the chips and add on. But like how exciting would that be to see like a $3 million bounty? Like a knockout. I mean,
that'd be pretty wild. Yeah, they should. Not? They should.
Yeah, I bet you that's that. Yeah, I hope that gets implemented. All right, a lot of praise, a lot of just check in, a lot of check. We'll take a couple more here. We got one right here from Matt. What characteristic do you think is the most important for a poker player?
Discipline, for sure, 100%. Like everything that comes with success in poker comes from discipline. Almost like being able to fold the river, not opening the 8-4 suited under the gun, not playing that 1K when you have a 2K bankroll. Like all the things that would hinder somebody's success come down to just being disciplined about it. I think like, yes, you need to learn how to play. So like, yeah, you need to know how to c-bet and you need to know how to, but like all that comes with time. Like over time, you just learn those things. But to be involved in the game in the first place, you have to be disciplined with your bankroll and with your pre-flop decisions. And yeah, discipline, 100%. Yeah.
Discipline is big. I love that. I think that's very sound. We've taken a lot of questions. We've covered a lot. We're going to give away a $111 ticket here. I do want to say, again, I like to do this towards the end. I don't want to lose our female viewers, but could you maybe tell us a little bit? You are in a relationship. How is that going? How is she? Is she streaming as well? Can we maybe give a little shout out?
Yeah, she does.
How consistently is she streaming?
She streams 3 or 4 times a week right now. It's Camille Streams. Yeah, LLE Streams. Two S's on the end as well. Yeah, there she is. Yeah, we've been dating for about 2.5 years now, so we're getting up there. It's getting up there, and it's great, man. It's great. Sorry.
Yeah, no, sorry. So and how like had she heard of Twitch or into it before you, or is this like something that you basically like? I think this is fascinating that like to see this, and she's actually already got a nice following going for being new on there. So like, tell them like how did that come about, and what made her? Was it you, or did she know about Twitch in general?
No, she was streaming before we actually met. So yeah, she had started her channel like before we kind of caught up, and she was doing like some Mario stuff just for fun or whatever. And I mean, we've been kind of together for her entire career, I guess. But yeah, she was into it before, and yeah, she loves it. So
Nice. Very cool. And how does it, do you guys like plan a schedule around kind of nice to stream around the same time so you can hang out, right? It makes sense. You don't want to be like streaming, then she's streaming, and then it's kind of like you don't see. So how do you guys do that? Do you kind of line up the schedules?
Yeah, we grind. I mean, we're a grinder couple. She streams a lot of the nights, and I stream a lot of the days and stuff like that. So we see each other just a few times a week, but yeah, I don't know. It's cool that, like, for me, it's cool that she has like that going on. Like something
Right.
outside of the 9 to 5 that she's passionate about and like she likes to put time into, and yeah, it's cool. It is. Yeah.
Yeah, that is cool. And what about you see Jamie getting engaged, people starting to have kids, things are happening. Like what's your current outlook on that? I mean, I think we've talked about this in the past a bit. Like you eventually would like to have kids. I mean, obviously you're very young, 24, and whatnot. But like, is that something you thought more about seriously, less, don't know, or just one day?
It's definitely a 1 day thing, but I mean, my girlfriend and I we're definitely serious. Like we're in it for the long haul, I think. So yeah, it's good. I'm sure all that will happen, but it's like I see all that as like a nice part of a relationship, but I also see this as a nice part of the relationship. Like the early stages where you have a lot of time to yourself and like things are cool and you can do your own thing, live alone, whatever. Like I think that's also a fun part of the relationship. So I don't really see, like, from my perspective, and she agrees, like there's not a huge reason to rush any of that kind of stuff. Like you said, I'm 24, Jeff. You said it yourself. I'm 24. I got stuff to
24.
do.
Yeah, 24, lock the doors. That's the time. It's not
Yeah,
not
I got
time.
stuff
Listen,
to do.
listen, I was riding around in Burning Man on a bicycle, 8 years single, and then next thing you know,
Yeah.
I was it. It was over next day, locked up, in love and having babies. So it can change in a jiffy. So enjoy it. Enjoy the time before all the responsibilities and things. And it's the best. But 24 is 24. So take your
Yeah.
time for
Yeah.
sure. It's good. It's good. All right. Well, we are going to do the $111 ticket giveaway. My man DMP3's got this giveaway tool. It actually didn't work the last time for some reason. I think because I hadn't been on. I'm, again, kind of rusty, dusting the cobwebs off. Let's see if we can make this work. Matt, we're going to copy the link. We're going to go over here. Have you seen this tool? It's a nice retweet tool.
It looks nice.
Pretty clean if it works. It usually works, but I don't know if I'm I don't know. Some reason it didn't work the last time. It's a retweet picker. It even scans bots, just like RTA, Party Poker, these sites kicking people out. I've got guys, I've been on to them for a while. I've been on to people's cases for like giveaway winners. I feel get in there a few too often. I'm all about multiple winners, but someone who's winning like 4 times in a giveaway when there's 150 plus I feel like they know something we don't know. Let's see if this even works. Let's create a contest. I am sure. Hopefully this loads the right thing, because last time there it is. Retweet count on tweets 106. So you got a little less than 1%, about the same odds of flopping a flush with 2 suited cards, which is 118 to 1 for any math majors out there. We're going to go and peel that and look at this. See, this is right. We go here. There was 100. Look at that. 112. So 6 people are ineligible. This is serious.
That's
we got
good.
6 people that got screened from this giveaway. And we're going to go ahead and download. And then, Matt, you're going to tell me when someone's going to win a 111 one-shot ticket. Thomas Screech has been very active today. Rake Junkies in the house, man. Good to see more of this format. Yeah, we got a podcast with Phil Helmsley tomorrow. We got 2 legends. We got Maddie and Phil in the booth today. We're putting them on Twitch. We're having
What a week.
Fun. What a
You've
week.
had some amazing guests on this podcast, I got to say.
The podcast is a grind in itself. It's a full grind. It's a lot. I like it. I enjoy it, but it's also kind of hard to,
I'm not the first repeat, am I?
No.
No.
Phil's been 3 times. This will be his 3rd.
He's in there.
Phil's a guy. Phil needs he wants to be on every 6 months. Like Phil likes to be. He's peaking. He's knocking Daniel out in heads up matches. He's the guy. Some guys need to be on. Enough,
He needs to be on.
He needs to be there. We'll have him. We'll talk.
I'll be
about
watching that podcast
tomorrow. All right, Matt. I'm gonna let you choose it. Courtesy of Party Poker, Matt Staples, myself. $111 one-shot ticket coming in hot. Seagull on a lily pad. That hot. Tell me when, and we're gonna hit it.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Choose a winner. Here we go. I am sure this is big. $111 ticket. Good luck to everyone who entered. And look at that. Chris Robinson, who is on my giveaway winner alert list as someone who's definitely pulled in a couple. I don't even want to, when I click him here, this guy, look at that. How you cannot root against a guy 37 years old. He's a Toronto fan and Queens U alum. You know Queens U?
I do not. No.
Okay. Well, Queens U alum is getting, look at it. He's won. This guy's a giveaway fucking crusher. He might even be on
this guy's talk to you more than I talk to you.
To be fair, he hasn't won one. He hasn't won a giveaway sent in 2021. Same username, I think. But now there's new aliases. So it's a little, let me be sure. But look at that. Yeah, see this? He's won 55 here, 33 there, 55. And we start tallying this. This guy is fit. I mean, dude, he's up. Matt, you want to talk about doing a lot of giveaways? This guy alone has won probably over $500 in giveaways on the stream. I mean, does that tell you anything? Is that kind of crazy? I had a 1%.
That speaks to your generosity, Jeff. That's all it does.
No, but like this guy has to have something. Like no one's winning 6 giveaways. I don't think. He might even be in the chat though. He's definitely like in there engaging and around. So we do appreciate that, Chris. Congrats to you from Matt, myself, Party Poker, and who do we host? Raid? I forget how to do this like while I'm live because this is confusing. Party Poker, are they streaming?
Party Poker TV.
Oh, is Party Poker TV on?
Yeah.
Let me see what they got going on.
They're doing a little Daily Legends challenge.
Is that Chessbra?
That's Chessbra. You know Chessbra?
Of course. Wow.
They are some of the best.
All right, so let me think on this. All right, let's see. All right, so how do I do it? So if I end the broadcast here, I forget how to do it, Matt. I'm supposed to.
I'll walk you through it. I'll walk you through it.
I know, but it's weird because it's on StreamYard. So I think I have to click
end
or I hit the raid first, and I don't even know. I'm honestly confused. So I think I go. Talk me through it. I'm confusing myself. So I'm on StreamYards. So if I end the broadcast here,
I think you just end it and then you end your OBS.
Yeah.
After.
Wait, it says I'm unavailable. Are we still live? Guys, okay, yeah, I think we are. Yeah, we're live. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm supposed to hit okay, so I hit raid first. Yeah, raid and then we'll end. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to raid Party Poker TV. Okay. Check out Jamie, Chessbra. Matt, how have your daily legends been going before in these competitions? Some heads up.
I'm 1-4. I'm 1-4. Jamie got me twice. Maximus got me once. The only person I've beaten is John Party.
Yeah. Party, and interesting. And what have been So can you explain to people what that is and what Jamie and Chessbra are doing there? What they got going on? How does it work exactly?
Well, the Party Poker channel started putting out a lot more content with their team pros and like other guests, basically other streamers. And the Daily Legends Challenge is like it's a heads up format. You play the same tournaments, so you'll both play 6 tournaments, and basically whoever has the most profit or the least amount of losses wins. So it's a nice little tournament heads up battle. It's good times. Yeah. And usually there's like a little prop bet like for the loser. Yeah.
And what are the bets you've won and lost with that?
I've lost gifted subs to Jamie. I had to watch a really terrible movie courtesy of Maximus Black. Like we were both going to choose like a really bad movie for each other to watch.
Ooh.
The last one I lost, I have to stream 2 hours of Minecraft sometime soon. I gotta put in a 2-hour shift on Minecraft. So yeah. Wow. A lot of L's.
That's serious. That is serious. Yeah. No, I mean, bets sometimes are more fun than non-monetary ones, right? Like sometimes it's more fun to have something that means something or time or just whatever. So any one bet that is there one that stands out for you that's like a prop bet that you've heard, whether you were a part of it or not, that were just like ridiculous or just so that you just were like, wow, that was fun or that's crazy? Like anything that caught your attention that was just so ridiculous? And there's a lot, right? In poker, we hear about it all the time.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't know. I'm drawing such a blank on prop bets. What about you?
I mean, my favorite one probably was the bicycle one, the Brian Rast like 24-hour ride from which I got a little action down on, and that was from Vegas to LA. I think he had 24 hours or 48 or whatever, like
Yeah.
whatever the ridiculous thing was. He made it by like less than an hour. He had like a doctor on the side of the road come meet him and give him a shot. Like he had it was crazy. Like he should not have been able to do it, and he won like $1 million.
Yeah,
In
that's
that,
huge. Did you see Jason Kuhn on Twitter?
I did. I actually saw.
Is he doing something with that?
What were they talking about doing though? I saw
Yeah,
something.
he's talking about how he can run like sprint in under 11 seconds or something like that, like a 100-meter dash or something like that. And he said, like, let me go check it out, or
I
you
did
can
see
as well.
Bill was talking. There was some chatter on it. Let me take a look as well. What
The So Remco asked Jason, like, how fast do you think you could run in a year? He says, no idea, maybe 10.9 if I wouldn't get hurt. And essentially, this guy said, zero chance, zero, like no chance, no chance. And he says, if you think this is a joke, I can escrow up to 5 million tomorrow. I need a good solid lock of a bet. And then Jason Kuhn replied to that guy, says, I will bet you $2 million I can do it in a year if you can actually escrow. So he was betting $2 million on himself to run a 10.9 in 1 year.
interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
And then who is it? This guy's it's a random guy.
I mean, he's kind of some random, but I guess it generated some hype, and Bill Perkins was in there like offering a free roll to Jason or something like that.
Wow. Interesting. Yeah. No, it's people. I will say the poker community is really special. There's just so much crazy.
Yeah.
People are willing to bet on just about anything. So that seems fast. That speed seems fast, but I wouldn't bet against Jason in many areas of the guy's sharp and the guy's smart and the guy's an athlete. So I'm sure he's got a decent calibration on what's in the realm of possibility, and a year's a long time. But then again, if you tell me you're going to run a 4.40, I'll bet, I'll take, I don't know. You could have all the training and stuff you want, but I don't know. I think that, whatever, I think we're on the right page. All right. Well, Matt, let's say any final words, where can people watch you? When are you going to hit 100K? Is it this week? Are you streaming every day? What's your schedule?
Grinding my ass off. I'm trying to get there. I'll be on tomorrow, probably Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this week. I'll be on all weekend. Matt Staples, twitch.tv/Matt Staples. You can watch me there. And I got a YouTube channel as well. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's Matthew Staples. So shout out to everyone who watches the podcast. I appreciate it. And thanks for having me on, dude. Like I said, you got Phil Hellmuth tomorrow. I mean, it's a little interesting. I'm on this podcast at all, honestly. So that's awesome.
Well, look at that. You're closing in. I like it. I want to give me a courtesy heads up. If you happen to think of it, it's going to be exciting. There's going to be a lot of, you're going to hit 99, you're going to come into the day with 100 or 200 or 3. Like, I want to know when it's close. I'll keep an eye on it. But if you kind of think about it, hit us in the me and Jamie Staple chat hype. Like, hey, guys, about to bink 100. If you can, if you remember, it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot to remember. I know I'm not going to be that's not what's going to be on your mind when you're doing it, but I would like to have that. I'd like to experience the 100K live hit. I don't think I've ever seen it, a live crossing of at least anyone I know well. So that would be
gotcha.
That would be fun.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, if you can find it. Anyway, I'm going to send over the host to Party Poker TV. I do love the content. I love the format. I've been checking in on these. They have a nice thing. See what's going on. Looks like Jamie's on fire. Am I reading the boards right? Does that mean that he is cash or he's still in those tournaments?
The greens, he's still in those ones. Yeah.
Okay, so buy-ins, cashes. Oh, Jamie's ravaging him.
Yeah, he's rolling.
Right. That looks pretty. That's going to be tough to overcome. He would need a nice finish. But anyway, say what's up to the boys. I'm going to hit the raid button. Make sure I don't blow this. And let me see. I'm going to hit that. Double check. Let me put this raid out. So once I raid, then I'll click end here. And then Matt, if you want to stay on for a second, we can catch up for a few if you have time. If not, I'll my boy is ready to go. He's ready to rock and roll. This is daddy time. I took him in for his first swim lesson yesterday. There's a lot of firsts, man. It's fun. They get him in the water.
That's cool.
Yeah, and splash around. But all right, I'm gonna I'm gonna drop this raid. We'll end this, and we gave away the $100 ticket, and we will be back. Hopefully, Matt will be on for a third edition after he wins the WPT. We'll have him and Jamie on together at some point. Follow him on all the socials. Thank you guys for watching. Phil Hellmuth, 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Same place, same channel. Gonna be fun. We'll make sure to ask Matt's question. We'll be rooting all of you on in the WPT, and I'm gonna be playing a bit, sweating, showing some stuff. And Matt, I'm gonna blow you up on Discord sometime. And just get you in. If I'm ever streaming around, I'm gonna try to get a hold of you and just be some call-ins and be more. We need to do a better job staying in touch.
Yeah, we do.
All right.
Okay. Thanks again, man.
Cheers, guys. Matt Staples, the man, the myth, almost at 100 on Twitch. We'll see him, follow him, and I will see you guys tomorrow. So that's it. My second time. I get separation anxiety. I don't like leaving you. I'm doing it now. I'm hitting end. We'll see you tomorrow.